I'm sorry that you had to do that, Desik. Apparently violence is not the Draenei way, but sometimes it is the only way. One of life's truths is that many do not understand. This is one of life's truths that many do not understand until it is too late. So it was for our people when we were slaughtered at the hands of the orcs. Becoming a Hand of Argus is a process of rebirth. With birth comes pain, and with birth comes pain. A Hand of Argus soldier is many things: obedient, brave, intelligent, above all, honorable. May yet exhibit some of these traits, Paladin. Return to Exarch Ametius at Bloodwatch if you're still interested in joining the Hand. He and his subordinates will train you further in ways to train a soldier. Remember this, Desik. Honorable people do not always perform honorably. Sometimes they cannot. You'll find Bloodwatch just up this road, to the north.
Favor the road, traveler, my few.
I hope you find something useful. Seek the path.
So, I was saying, I'll continue the idea. Let me just make sure I am recording here. Yeah, it all seems fun. Though, I might have been lowered. Let me just check. I discovered that the other day, that I had actually been lowered, and I didn't discover that till way too late. I'd gone through a fair bit of recording before I discovered that. And I have actually deliberately lowered myself there, because I was confirming that it was actually raised. Sometimes it seems raised and it isn't. And yeah, I was lowered there, and it looked like I hadn't been. So, what's my idea? So what was I going to talk about? I'm going to have to kill these. I was saying, like, I'll try and fix the thing. I'm saying fix is a bit strong, but they've just messed up with the story a bit too much. And, you know, the setting. So, like, my thing would be basically wanting to, prune those bits out, you know? But I don't really know how you could go about doing that, you know? People wouldn't exactly be happy for the expansions being cut. Though, to be honest, part of me was thinking of not cutting them, just making it, even leaving all the quests in, but just marking it as, you know, saying, like, look, this expansion's old work, it's not canon now, but it's still here if you want to get items from it, if you want to get appearances from it. You can still do this stuff, it's just consider it defunct, and put it to one side. You know? Still treat it as part of the game, but just not part of the story, you know? Shadowlands. Defunct that. Jada's defunct. BFA could be fixed. I think most of the expansions could be fixed, but Shadowlands is irredeemable. Well, I had that idea before of redeeming it, but the Shadowlands we have, not so much. Oh, thank you for the slow attack. Fine, I'll kill you too. Obviously, I'm talking off the cuff here, so I don't have any ideas set out. But it's just like, basically, like, I feel like pruning off multiple expansions would be a good start. Shadowlands, for example. Dragon Isles might be salvageable. I remember seeing one critique of it was that it didn't feel like, and this may go for more than just Dragon Isles, but I remember seeing a critique of it. I have no experience with it, so I can't comment. But the areas don't, and this may go for more than just it, but anyway, the areas don't feel part of a world. Like, you'll go to one zone and you'll meet certain NPCs and you'll deal with certain things, and then you'll move on and never see any trace of that again. Everyone's in their niche little pockets and that's it. And I feel that is kind of true for other expansions, ain't it? You know? And to be honest, that would probably be true to a certain degree. There wouldn't always be, like, cross spillage, like, in an expansion. Now, it would be weird for stuff from Mount Hyjal to be in. Well, actually, stuff from Mount Hyjal, I was going to say, to be in the other Cata zone, the underwater area. It makes sense that's its own thing. But even then, they are part of a similar story. You know? This story there is connected. In a sense. Both of them are speaking to, like there's great elemental, there's great turmoil within the elements, and there's shit going down spun off from that. I can't really remember the Cata story too well. I remember the Naga are doing an uprising and kidnap Neptron, and then that's ultimately resolved off screen. And then in Hyjal, the Ragnaros is rampaging, aided by the Twilight's Hammer. As far as I know, the Naga are fighting on the same side effectively as the Twilight's Hammer. So it just seemed like they're part of the overall Cata story, and Twilight's Hammer is serving Deathwing. So it's... maybe the Naga aren't working with Twilight's Hammer, but whatever. You know, it's part of the overarching story. These are just different branches of it, you know? So from the way the person was talking about Dragonfight, it made it sound like all the stories are own little, like all the zones have their own, you know, disconnected little story, and they never play into each other. They never, you know, they just exist in their own little microcosm, and that's it. I can't really comment though until I play the expansion itself. But my idea would be basically like pruning out some expansions, so, redoing things, or like part of me's thinking like BFA and Shadowlands. Shadowlands definitely. Maybe BFA defuncting those. Huh. Seems odd watching them patrol up the hill. But, other expansions could probably be, fixed up. Like, like Warlords of Draenor. One of my main issues with... well, I have two main issues with it. The sudden, Grom being cast in a positive light at the end makes no sense. Grom quite happily slaughtered the Draenei under his own free will. All the horrors that the orcs committed under the corruption of the demons in the canon, in the original timeline? He did so happily under his own power and volition. He did all that quite happily of his own drive. There's the start of the Path of Honor, built of the bones of Draenei there, as far as I remember. He did that of his own volition, not because he was cursed with, bloodlust from the demons. He did that because he wanted to. So him suddenly being cast as a hero, it just makes absolutely no fucking sense. Because even Draenei were cheering for him. If you want to give him a redemption arc, the character has to, one, even want one. Two, he has to actually fucking earn it. And again, the redemption arc Grom got in the original timeline was ended in his own death. Which I can't see this Grom getting, one without that. He would have to go out the same way. Dramatic parallels, it's perfect. Beyond that, Euro. Her skip to being an Exarch makes no sense. There's two ways to fix that. Put the Draenei in an even worse position, so that they're so desperate they'll take anyone with the slightest degree of competency to be Exarch. Or if you really want her to earn her position, then actually put in the Shatterat raid. Have her do stuff there. I'm sure there's more issues with WoD than just that, but those are the two things that stuck with me over the years. Another thing I would like to do, Legion. Make it a two-part expansion. End it with the Tomb of Sargeras raid, and then do Argus as a separate expansion. Also, Suramar does not exist. The Traitor Elves are dead. Like in what we saw in Warcraft 3 was the runes of Suramar. It was with the Tomb of Sargeras was in the runes of Suramar, and there is no Suramar city. There is no domed city. There is no nothing. All you see of the Broken Isles is like tropical islands. So there will be no High Mountain Tauren, there will be no Traitor Elves, there will be none of this. The Legion would want to be redone. Then again, that's a much harder sell. Could probably just leave it as is, but, albeit splitting it into two expansions. This is just my own personal wish list, wank list, really. Because I'm just still bitter about the whole thing. I'm just bitter about them pissing things up constantly. Because I've played this game for so damn long, and I'm just seeing what the modern game is like, and it's just like, fuck. I don't even recognize it anymore. You know? It's just kind of depressing to see. Once again, you've proven yourself to be all that was prophesized. You have the eternal gratitude of the High Chief, Desic, and the Dystopine relics to choose from. I'll take this one, I can sell it for more. But heroics! Sell it for more. The Exeter's crash scattered pieces of fouled crystals all over Bloodmist Isle, corrupting the water and the landscape. We've begun finding pieces of crystals instead of flesh of animals taken for meat. I've covered a way to purify the shard and turn them into functional crystals. So if you bring me enough shards, I'll trade one of my completed crystals for them. So far, I've found shards in the bodies of bears, ravagers, flutterers, and the treants inhabiting the corrupted part of the island.
Do not lose faith. May your days be long.
Which to train Ansem. And as you can see here is a holdover from back in the day when you could train. This guy for a fair few expansions, though I swore he was over here or was one of these guys, will let you train.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Will let you see your training list and all the costs, even though this is no longer actually in the game. 1, 2. So yeah, they must have just removed the conversation choice and not the actual system for training, which is interesting. But maybe I'm thinking about it in the wrong way. But yeah, so you can kind of see what abilities you'll be getting. Oh, I'll be getting the damage over time seal. This is kind of it replaces Seal of Command? Oh. Yeah, I suppose Seal of Command is just a 10% damage thing. Okay, that's weird. I thought I got to keep Seal of Command and have it as an AoE seal, but maybe that was Cata. Fuck. I didn't think it was getting replaced. And I'm not seeing any other I'm seeing Seal of Insight. Casting speed, healing spells, and melee for chance to heal you. Jesus. So it's basically Seal of Light without needing to judge enemies, and with additional Holy Paladin bonuses. Huh. Didn't know that one. Also the damage dealing seal, so I had no interest. But
Remain vigilant.
so yeah, it's gonna take me a while to get used to the seals. It's been quite a long time since Pandaria. Quite a long
May the
time.
light embrace you.
Let us look at this landscape and see only death, corruption, and adversity. None of those are in short supply, true, but that view ignores the opportunities presented by our environment. Not stand by and watch these opportunities go ignored, Paladin. With your help, we can demonstrate to the others here at Bloodwatch just how to make use of the environment and its creatures.
Remember the lessons
A good
of the
woodsman
past.
makes use of every available resource, Paladin. Even most bizarre creatures possess attributes we can use to our advantage. With Bloodwatch under constant assault from the Sunhawks, we're looking to a variety of natural defenses, including traps. Glash's thorny vines are perfectly suited to construction of traps I have in mind. The combination of sharp spines and deadly toxin will fell unwary attackers. Bring me the vines of mutated constrictors so I can begin my work.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
As I'm sure you've seen in your time on Bloodmist Isle, very little remains unchanged by arrival. My training and experience has told me that even the products of an environment like this one can be put to use. So for you resources, we must rely on our ingenuity to provide for us. I've been supplementing our stores with meat from the bears of Wonder Sound. Proper preparation, be safely eaten. It can safely be eaten. If you're going to be out in the field, why not help replenish their stocks?
Dionys Aka. Warm wishes to you.
You. Maat Parm. Yep, I knew it. He was called something else before. And actually, a bit of a bit of Argus got renamed too. This guy used to be called Gisera of McCree. But he was named after a dev, Jesse McCree. Same dev as the guy from Overwatch was named after. Must have been significant at the company to have so many characters named after him. He. There's no details on the website about him. Uh, beyond characters named after him. There is an NPC during the um, you know the Dead Knight starter zones. Sorry. You know the Dead Knight starter zone. There's an NPC there called Scarlet Lord Jessariah McCree. He's now called Scarlet Lord Borg. There was a in Frostmane Hold in Dunmoreau, a dwarf called Jessup McCree. Um, he's been replaced with Car KHARMARN Pale Grip, and his company's been changed from McCree's Mountain Movers to Carnum's Mountain Movers. I don't actually know how to say that name. The Marshal McCree is a human quest giver by the Flight Master in Eastville Logging Camp. That flight point was added in Cata. He has a quest Manhunt the Collector wanted James Clark, and he also gives the hero's call to Westfall. That sends you there level 5. Lowest level 5. Jesus. He's been replaced with Marshall Patterson. None of the designs are changed. They literally just changed a name. That's it. Just goes through for them all. There was a chick in the Greyfang Enclave in Dalaran. Greyfang? The Greyfang Enclave is the renamed Silver Enclave from Dalaran, the Alliance Quarter. But yeah, there's an NPC in there. She sells general goods. She's called Jenny McCree. Well, previously was called Jenny McCree, but she's now called Yasmina Narosa. Narosa. Narosa? So, yeah, there's a fair few characters named after him in the game. And he even had the city of Macari, named after him. That also got renamed to Eridath. Sweet fuck. It's fucking insane to see it. But yeah, Eridath Macari is level 45. That's the level you are for the area. God, that hurts my head. But yeah, I knew this guy was changed. I've been through here enough. He's Jacera of Macari. But now he's Matt Parm flatly. Just Matt Parm. This whole thing annoys me. There was like a nice little connection with the previous version of the character. Since he's called Jacera of Macari, whatever. When we actually finally get access to that area, you find him there. You know? It was a nice little thing, but, well, it matters a little bit less now without him having that of Macari title. You know? Macri title. Did you know mushroom hunting is far more dangerous than mushroom consumption? Mushroom hunters expose themselves to many unknowns, not including potential wildlife dangers. What would life be without a little danger? I'm in need of mushrooms for my collection. Scattered throughout these unexplored wilds, you'll find 4 different types. Aquatic stinkhorn, a blood mushroom, a runous polyspore, and a falcone fungus. They are each unique to various regions and blood mist. Bring them to me. I want to get back to the mushroom ticket. I have never seen such a mature cluster in my lifetime.
The Naru have not forgotten.
I can kind of get why they renamed the characters. I can understand it, but at the same time, it's just a bit frustrating from a story standpoint, if you get me, or a world standpoint.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
What can I do for you?
In my years as a member of the Explorers League, I've been all over Azeroth. Never seen anything quite like blood mist.
Watch your back.
Babysitting. Would you believe it? They pulled me out of a promising dig and sent me along with Captain Odysseus's expedition to babysit that little gnome. Never heard of a gnome wanting to become a prospector before, so I asked. Seems we're taking gnomes now, and this particular one has a fascination with murlocs. He's gone off and set up shop in an old turtle shell on the northern shore of the island. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
Off with you.
1. Clopper. That's just perverse. 2. That quest's new. Didn't used to have it in the game. It's a little hint that there is a quest on the northern side. Used to find it through exploration. Are you normally there? Or is trainers not normally there? Like, this seems more cluttered than normal. Go check my Kyrock videos. Actually, that wouldn't matter, would it? Those were recorded even later than this. Quick, folks, go back in time and check original, my Burn Crusade era this, or Rat era this. Welcome to Bloodwatch, Paladin. My travels have amassed a wide variety of tools, artifacts, and knowledge from the various peoples we've encountered. Should you find yourself in need of this knowledge, you have only to ask. I do not
Do
care.
well.
Good fortune.
Open your heart to the light.
Lessons of the past.
Remember the lessons of the
I
past.
swear this menu is a bit shaped a bit differently. Something feels off. Harbinger Mikolas has done a commendable job of safeguarding Bloodwatch Paladin, but our enemies are many and our resources few. Our weakness is well known to our enemies, but your contact with the Forces Alliance is something they haven't accounted for. Prepared a letter of introduction to people of Orbadine, Coastal Alliance settlement, proposing cooperation in our fight against our foes. Take it with you and seek out Huntress Keela Nightbow near the docks west of the Exeter.
Be kind to those less fortunate. Arcanon Poros.
Are you Desic? It's about time. I just given up on finding you. I heard your message waiting for you at the mailbox. Person that gave it to me was a human admiral from Azure Mist. Admiral Otissi something. The name escapes me. He said you would know who he was. Armaeus shrugs. I tried this quest before on my Kyrock character, but I was playing the game through the free trial at the time, because, why pay for it if I can, you know, do the alts via the free trial, But this one quest is the only quest that demands you have mailbox access and free trial does not. So I wasn't able to access it before time ran out. I also missed out on some, weapons that were mailed to me or something by Blizzard. Like, they did some, itemization change, and they were mailing out stuff. And so I couldn't get it, because of the lack of game time.
Each day is a blessing.
It's good to see another new face here in Bloodwatch, Paladin. Although the Blood Elves are the most immediate threat, there are other sinister creatures that call Blood Mist style home. The Nazivius Satyr are of particular concern. They are foul, demonic creatures commanding dark magics and feeding on the corruption created by the Exeter's crash. Must hold them in check, but first we must learn more about them. Go southwest of Nazvian and learn what you can from their grotesque monument.
Blessings upon you.
Wanted Decor. By order of Harbinger Mikolas, the bounty of 18 silver to be paid to the brave soul who returns with proof of the marauding bear Decor's demise. Decor should be considered extremely dangerous and responsible for killing a survey team on the coast to the northwest of Bloodwatch. Travelers are advised to avoid the area. One day left on those failed ones. 30 days left on that? Oh, I got back just in time. 5 gold, 74 silver, 88 copper. Still can't fucking do it.
I need a target. I need to target something first.
Yeah, there's no way into my menu.
I hope you find something useful.
This guy may also be renamed, but I'm not sure. Heart Glen Ambrosia. Water on lambic. A grave stout. This stuff is new to me.
Be kind to those less.
Probably just don't remember it. It's random items. I'm not gonna remember everything.
The Naru have not
Everything that has happened since the crash is little more than a blur. Seems like a lifetime ago that I was aboard the Exeter. And my reality is restricted to this island with its mutant creatures and endless sea of blood elf agents. Soon it'll be as if I've never known anything different.
favor the road.
The Black-Sealed Murlocs on the southwestern coast are curious creatures. In some ways they act very sentient, yet in others they show a remarkable degree of organization. A few theories about that, but no real way to test them until recently. I've advised a method to allow me to track the Murlocs I'm interested in without doing any lasting harm or interfering with their natural behavior. If you're willing to help with the marking, I'll gladly pay you for your assistance.
Remain vigilant. Safe journey.
Do you often think of your family, Isaac? There are a number of families aboard the Exeter, but I've heard of very few being reunited. I myself am looking for traces of my husband, Galen, who's a technician in the Cryo Corps. The wreckage of it is located to the west, and it's swarming with blood elves. Must find out what became of Galen. Even news of his death is better than never knowing. Husband will be wearing a pendant identical to my own, a gift from my sister.
The Naru have
About a week ago, my research team and I were out exploring the western wilds of Bloodmist and were attacked by bloodthirsty spiders. The effect of the crystal contamination was clearly evident as these spiders were massive, extremely aggressive. No, that sounds pretty standard, mate. I managed to escape, but my team wasn't so lucky. Must not let the same fate befall others. Go west to the Amber Web Pass and destroy the spiders and their matriarch, Zeraka.
Dionys Aka.
Motherfucker. I shouldn't have sat around for as long as I did. I was trying to cut that nail, but I just can't do it. It's very resistant to being cut. It moves, and it's fucking painful. I'll take another crack at it after my shower tomorrow, because that will soften it. But, I wish I could pour, wish it was Minecraft, and this counted as a plant. I'll pour some bone meal on it, that I'll get from somewhere, who knows, and just trim it off then. Like, it's just not growing fucking quick enough. I've been watching Minecraft videos a lot recently. It's just not growing fucking quick enough for me. Like, if I could just speed up time on just the nail alone, I would be happy. That was stupid. But whatever. I'm leaving it in. I don't want to edit much. I'm sick and tired of the nail. Wait. Huh. He's even appearing on the little mini-map. Even though that feature is meant to be removed. But yeah, I'm sick and tired of this nail, but I can't really do anything with it. I might be able to trim it tomorrow after the shower, but I'm certainly not going to be able to trim all of this loose bit off. I can only hope I don't end up trimming it in such a way that, basically it's going to grow and be pushing up the toe. It could grow in such a way that it starts digging into my foot. That's a fear. So the only other option is to just try and trim it very slightly and then just leave it till it grows enough for me to remove it. But at present it keeps getting caught in my slippers. But yeah, I wish there was a way for me to just accelerate growth of it right now so I can just trim it down right. But yeah, I was fixated on getting that sorted, so I just kind of sat here and dawdled because, oh really, that's it. I could come back and do more, but yeah, I sat here and dawdled because I really wanted. I fixated. I had to get it done first before I could do anything else. But well, now they're just fucking around. Oh yeah, someone else is having the same issue. But yeah, I just sat here for ages just trying to deal with it and then getting distracted with other things. Because I felt I couldn't do anything else till I was done with it. I had to make myself go and do other things. So, yay. I would just rather keep playing rather than have to come back to it. Because if I snap out of this, I'll probably just start feeling tired. and then, you know, not play more. Oh, can't one up them. But, anyway.
The Naru have not forgotten us. Be kind to those less fortunate.
Actually, let me just see something. BRB. Just looked it up to see if the guild was recruiting, and they aren't. Right. Here, give me a sec. Only one person is actually on the guild right now. Home. It's a combo of Grey Parsers, the people from Home initially, I think, and Synergy? Or maybe it's just Synergy Guild renamed to Home. I'm not sure. But there's some Grey Parsers in it as well. So, yeah.
Blessings of God.
I had a feeling that you would make it this far, Paladin. If you want to go further, I'm willing to teach.
Do not lose faith.
What does Argus mean to you, Desik? Many Dre and I probably do not know or remember our home planet. It is there that we split from the Minari, the twisted demonic reflections of ourselves that were gifted by Sergeris, or as they call themselves, Eredar. Eredar, this word once held meaning. Metis smacks his lips as a taste word. Disgusting. Let's not waste any more time. Find Vindicator Boros to begin your training. That were gifted by Sagaris. It feels like he's using gifted as blessed. So see like how he's talking about them here, and how some Minari have joined with the Draenei, you know? That's the fact that it's just a reskin of Draenei rather than an allied race. Like, look at fucking Dark Irons. They're just goddamn dwarves from a different culture, not dwarves that have been steeped in demonic, you know, juju for thousands of years potentially. Who knows how old any of these Minari are? You know? Who knows how old any of these individual Minari are? They could be centuries old, if not more, steeped in fel, steeped in demonic energies. That they shouldn't have gifted an Aru. They should have Damnation of the Legion, where they do a damage over time effect to enemies. They have like corrupted versions of the Draenei traits. Maybe they have corrupted versions, but there's a hint of something better. Or maybe it's them drawing still on their like Legion heritage, you know? They've left the Legion, but they're still tainted by it. They're still marked by it, you know?
Blessings upon your family. Good fortune.
So, you know, that's how they should have done it. They should have made them an allied race. Like, they make every Tom, Dick, and Harry an allied race, and then when they introduce corrupted Draenei, they're just a reskin. They should have been an allied race. Give them a different tool set. Give them their own racials, a different stat layout. You know, make them a different thing. You know, that would have made sense. That would, if I owned WoW, that's a change I'd make. They would actually have their own, you know, stat line. They would have their own racials. So, yeah.
Good health. Long life. The Legion's end.
If you learn only one thing during your time on Bloodman's Paladin, hope that it is vigilance. As what claims the unwary first, that begins to wear down even the most guarded of warriors. Everywhere you turn, a foe stands ready to take your life. Welcome to Bloodwatch, Paladin. Seeing to the defences of the outpost is my primary concern, but I've been tasked with a variety of other duties by the leaders at the Exodar. Problem is that it's hardly safe to send out large amounts of researchers when the island is this dangerous. Need someone to gather a series of crystal samples from various sites on the island. First sample I need must come from the Ravager-infested ship debris south of town, across the bridge.
Good health. Long life.
The Hand of Argus has established a forward base of Vindicator's Rest, but they're sorely outnumbered by both the blood elves and the mutated wildlife. Without backup, their outpost is in danger of falling, and with no way to keep an eye on events in their vector coil. Report to Scout Ural at Jorel at at Vindicator's Rest to the northwest and offer her your assistance, Ezek.
May your days be long.
We'll keep playing a little. I'm gonna stop for a bit and go to have a drink. Go get a drink. I might come back and play more now. We'll see.
Arcanon Poros.
What it means to be a Hand of Argus. We're agents of the light. We serve without question. We die without question. I I don't get the without question. I find I understand things better when I actually, you know, question. Like if a thing's a rule, I understand it better if and even remember it better if I know why it's a rule, you know? So just blindly following really just does not work. Well, it depends on what mood my head's in, really. I'm kind of fickle.
Remember
Ah,
the
Dezek, I've heard about you. You're the one that made the castle run in under 15 minutes, right? Probably not. I'm ready to spill some blood in the name of the light. For Velen. For Argus. Boros laughs. I'll slow down.
Do not lose
Bloodwatch is one of the two fort bases operated by the Hands of Argus. I've already seen the other base, Azure Watch. Things are completely different in Blood Mist. When we first got here, the land was as beautiful as Azure Mist. We even called it Silvergale. But now sickness is spreading across the land. Worse yet, there's weird. Damn it! It's hard to ad-lib a skating line here. When it was as beautiful as Azure Mist. We even called it Silvergale. But now sickness is spreading across the land, and worse yet, there's these strange crystals, these corrupted crystals everywhere. Blood elves, they are a plague. Worse yet, the blood elves that were battling on the Exodar survived the crash. This brings me to your assignment. Venture northwest into Bladewood, and terminate any blood elves that you find.
Dionis Aka.
So, we've gathered up all the quests. Some of these are actually the intro quests of the area, but some of these are actually came from later on. Though then again, with like I do remember like getting wanted Deathclaw early on before, so I do feel this is just a game throwing stuff at you and being like, okay, work out when you should do them yourself. You know, it's not that I'm getting stuff out of order. It's that the game just does throw a lot at you, and you're to work out when you should do it yourself. But then again, I am level 16 reaching here, so it is possible that it is a out of order kind of thing. I don't know. I feel that, like, no, when I do come in here, normally there is actually a fair few quests. I think it does just throw a fair few quests at you and let you figure it out yourself, rather than hand-holding too much. So, we'll head in here, and we'll log off. I'll go head over... Oh, actually, no. All of WoW Classic's going offline. Oh, very well. But anyway, I'll call it here for now, and I hope you've enjoyed. I might play a bit more when servers come back online, or I might leave it here for today. Could get some editing done. Actually, yeah, I'll probably leave it here for today. I actually need to wake up early tomorrow, and it's already nearly 2 a.m. So I'll leave it here for today, and I have to deal with the shopping. So yeah. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm sorry for my bitching about this stuff. It just, whenever I play WoW now, all I can see is a game that I like that's not being treated well, you know? Like I really do like WoW. I care for it. It's a good series. It's a good game, you know? But the people working on it don't know it well, aren't good writers. They just don't give a shit. There's a list, and you kind of like drag the attributes to the each individual. You may drag a few, and it's just sad to see, because I do find the WoW as a setting to be interesting and fun. They do come up with some good ideas for things, but then they just don't give a shit about them. Look at StarCraft. There's plenty of side lore novels that set things up and are well liked, and they do nothing with them in the games. Look at like the Garrosh novel by Christie Golden. People loved that novel, but they didn't give a shit about it. There was this, like, she wrote a novel, and the Athalai crystals were a thing in it, and they were like, oh, we really like this idea, we'll include it in the game. But that should be, that should be baseline. As in, like, say if they're writing a novel as background dressing, and it's not something that they can include because it happens, it's out of the way. It's not. It's fleshing out the world, but it's not somewhere we would see. Then it makes sense that it wouldn't be in the game. But it's like, let's say it was something set on the other side of the dark portal, and they never did reopen it. That kind of thing. Like, what goes on down there? What happened? It makes sense that they would be reflected in the game. But if it is like okay, I'm going to write a novel about this, and here's the details of it, and you know, they should be corresponding with the writers of the game. They should be, you know, the novel should be an expression of the world, and not a gamble as to whether or not the writers of the game even accept it as part of the game setting. You know? Of course, since, given the whole circumstances there, it would just be liable that it would mean that the books that come out will be a lot worse than what we got. So we'll be missing out on the better material, but eh. But yeah, basically the point is that, like, while it was cool that they included the Athalai crystals in the game, that should be baseline. That shouldn't be like a profound act of mercy or something. That should be baseline. That should be what they normally do. Like, okay, you wrote a novel, or like they did a comic series where there was these super centaur that were made at some point, and they started enslaving horde members. They were a threat to Ogrimmar. They were actually gearing up to attack Ogrimmar. If you go there in Desolus post Cata, it happened during Cata, you won't find a single trace of them. No one mentions them. Nothing's happened. You'll find a completely different questline there, and as far as I know, that story's canon. Or at the very least, they put out comics detailing it. But there's absolutely no trace of this army of superpowered centaur. No trace. They were taking people captive, enslaving orcs, trolls, tauren, anyone they could get their hands on. Not a single damn was given. And there's no trace of it in game. There's plenty of side material stuff that just never gets acknowledged. And it's frustrating. So that would be if I did get my hands on Blizzard, on Warcraft, and I had the studio for it. That would be something I would do. I would make like, okay, here's a lore novel. It's well liked. We'll include it in the game, and you would find a tribute to it of some sort in the game, as we could, you know. Some things wouldn't make sense to have tributes, other things would make sense to have tributes. It would depend, you know. So, same with StarCraft. Honestly, part of me is thinking with StarCraft, you'd almost want to tweak Brood War a bit. Make like Kerrigan needs to be powerful as the Queen of Blades. She needs to be powerful. She has to be powerful. But being able to dominate the Nerazim matriarch from somewhere in the sector, not even the same planet, that's too much. Have her infiltrate the place. If you want to play it out like that, have her infiltrate the place and like psychically dominate her. You know, actually like overpower her. It's like, it was a personal, hands-on thing. Like she has to be powerful. There has to be limits to her power because otherwise, like as it stands, they've literally made it a plot hole that anyone can ever fight against her and win. She can read your every move. She knows everything you're going to do. Even if she underestimates you and treats you as a fool, the moment you can start winning, she makes you eat your friend because she can just dominate anyone. So she makes you put your gun in your mouth and blow your own head off. You know, being able to fight against her becomes a plot hole when she can dominate one of the most powerful psychics in the sector from planets away. It becomes an entire plot hole to actually be able to effectively resist her. So that one bit has to be changed and then maybe drop StarCraft 2. You can use stuff from it, but yeah. Keep in mind, I'm not saying that I'll be the one fixing it. Like, I've got ideas, but I would actually kind of want to leave it up to better writers than myself. I'm not that arrogant. Also, remember I was saying the idea of having Shadowlands as the afterlife of another reality? And like souls being dragged there from well, not another reality, but another world. And souls being dragged there from Azeroth. It feels weird having the afterlife separated based on planet, but at the same time, no one ever goes to the grave thinking, ooh, I wonder what aliens I'll meet in the afterlife. You know? No one ever goes to the grave wondering, what extraterrestrials or other beings they'll meet in the thereafter. Supernatural ones, sure, aliens, demons, they're deity or deities, they'll think of that kind of thing, but they'll never wonder, I wonder if I'll meet Vulcans over there, past the veil. No one thinks like that. So that's why I'm, segregate stuff off like this, and now you can just have the jailer being a invading force to Azeroth. From another plane, from another world. So, yeah. That's my idea for redeeming Shadowlands. Talked about it in a fair few other vids. So, I did talk about it in the anniversary series. I did talk about it over there if you want to see it. The anniversary server. It's one of the first few episodes, I want to say. I talked about it over there if you want to take a look. So, I'm going to call this here, and I'm going to go get a drink, and then I'll do a little bit of editing, and I'll head to bed. So, I hope you've had a good one, folks. I've talked too much, didn't play enough. I'm sad, but it is what it is. I can do more tomorrow. I've been caught up with Sekiro lately. I'm on my third run of the game now. Already past Genichiro. I will be getting my Demon Souls run up and going soon. There's a bit of bonus footage I have to get recorded. 2 bits for Demon Souls, many bits for Dark Souls 1, 1 bit for Dark Souls 2, many bits for Dark Souls 3, 1 bit for Sekiro, and then many bits for Elden Ring. But as I get stuff going, then I can move on. Basically, I get the first bonus thing done for Demon Souls, I can get that run going. Once I get the second bonus thing done, I can get that run going. So, Yeah. It's going to be more of a pain in the ass for Dark Souls, given how much bonus stuff I need to record, but it is what it is. So, I hope you've enjoyed. Till then, folks. Till then.